Let's talk about the oldest of the three and slowly work our way towards the most recent mass extinction. Number 3, the End-Ordovician extinction. Imagine Earth as a giant ocean, and the End-Ordovician extinction was one of its darkest chapters. It happened about 443 million years ago, and it wiped out most sea life because the planet's climate changed very suddenly. The world back then had no trees, no dinosaurs, and no humans yet, just oceans full of strange creatures. Think of the Earth like a giant fish tank. First, the water was warm and cozy, and lots of sea animals were thriving. Then the planet cooled down a lot, ice sheets grew, and sea levels dropped, which took away many shallow water homes where sea animals lived. That was the first big hit. But when the remaining creatures adapted this environment, they got another big hit. Right as you expected, the ice started melting, the seas changed again. Water with very little oxygen spread into areas where animals lived, and many creatures could not survive that either. So the extinction happened in 2 waves, not just one, and Earth just looked something like this. Number 2, the late Devonian extinction. Around 375 to 360 million years ago, lots of sea life started disappearing in waves. Back then, Earth's oceans were full of fish, coral reefs, and weird ancient sea creatures, doing their best to mind their own business. Then the planet's environment started changing, and the sea became a much less friendly place. Some scientists think the oceans lost oxygen in many areas, which is bad news if you're a fish. That was the first hit, and the second hit was when the true forest appeared, and were quickly spreading, and soil formation increasing like never before, thanks to deep root system. The sea levels had risen once again, allowing life to thrive in shallow waters. The extra nutrients from the rain caused massive algae blooms, using up the oxygen in the water, and creating large dead zones where animals could no longer survive, and essentially suffocating them. Around 75% of all species went extinct, and back then the Earth just looked something like this. Number 1, Permian-Triassic extinction. Picture Earth about 252 million years ago. Life was having a normal day, minding its own business, and then the planet basically hit the biggest extinction in history. This was the worst mass extinction ever recorded, and it nearly reset life on Earth. Before the extinction, oceans and land were packed with life: fish, corals, insects, reptiles, early mammal relatives, and lots of other creatures trying their best. Then something huge happened in Siberia. Enormous volcanic eruptions called the Siberian Trap started pumping gases into the air. And by pumping gases, I mean turning the planet into a giant science experiment no one asked for. The volcanoes released huge amounts of carbon dioxide and sulfur gases that caused strong global warming, acid rain, and ocean acidification, which made life in the sea much harder. The oceans also became low in oxygen in many places, so animals that needed clean, oxygen-rich water were in serious trouble. So the planet managed to stack several disasters on top of each other, like a really bad sandwich. This extinction was not small or polite. About 90 to 96% of marine species died, and around 70% of land vertebrate species vanished too. Some sources describe it as the extinction of most families, genera,